Here we're going to take a look at the RIO braided loops. These are great for when your welded loop wears out on the tip of your fly line and you want to attach another loop-to-loop connection. These braided loops are a nice strong way to do that. The first thing you want to do is get your braided loop out. You can see you have a little sleeve here near the tip of that. First thing to do is to get it started onto the tip of your fly line. Now you can see the end of this braided loop here is kind of frayed, so getting it started is probably the hardest part. All you're going to do is you're just going to slide the tip of the fly line into this braid, and this braid is kind of like a Chinese handcuff kind of material. So once I get it started, the easiest thing to do is to pinch the frayed end of the braid in place. Then you just kind of push this Chinese handcuff material back, and then use your other finger to kind of slide it all back onto the line. Now all you're going to do is just inch by inch, you're just going to work this braided loop all the way onto the fly line, and eventually what you're going to get is something like this, where it's slid all the way up to that sleeve. I've got about 3 or 4 inches of the braid covering the fly line. Next thing we want to do is we need to slide this sleeve up onto both the fly line and the braid. And I like to glue it near the back end of the braid here. So what I'm going to do is near the back end, I'm just going to take some Zap-A-Gap, and you can use the brush-on material that I have here. You can just put a little drop. And you got to be careful not to use too much or overdo it. All I'm going to do is just take some of the glue, and I'm just going to kind of lightly apply it to the braid. I'm only going to apply about half the length of the sleeve. Then what I'm going to do is just take that sleeve and I'm just going to push it back up onto that super glue, and then all I'm going to do is just pinch it really hard, and I'm going to cure that super glue, and that'll keep the braid and the fly line connected. Now, since this is made of that Chinese handcuff material, even though we did super glue down here, as this pulls tight, the braid will tighten down onto the fly line, further making it stronger. And the last thing you want to do is you have all this frayed material. I usually just kind of work it back up to the shrink tubing. You're going to want to trim all that braid down all the way to the sleeve. This will make for a nice smooth connection. Get all those nubs. And there you have your nice and smooth loop-to-loop connection again, and you can repair a used fly line nice and strong. It'll do the job for most trout, bass, and carp situations. And you can find the RIO braided loops at intheriffle.com.